The right to vote lies at the core of America's democratic system. But with the intense polarization, how secure is the right to vote? Attorney Judith A. Brown-Dianis, who works at the Advancement Project, a national racial justice organization, puts into perspective that the insurrection that was witnessed at the Capitol for the rise of the Confederacy and white supremacy is directly connected to racism and voter suppression because they feel threatened that a rising majority has occurred against white Americans. She adds that these riots are motivated by the same anti-democratic sentiment that inspired lawmakers to challenge November's election results, specifically in areas where they saw record turnout amongst communities of color. This means that when we have these moments of advancement in power amongst people of color, what we'll see is not only that kind of white lash, but also state legislatures and federal Congress moving to restrict the right to vote. The Advancement Project is working on the right to vote and to get a point where it is acknowledged in the Constitution. Dr. Gabriel D. Lemus is board chair of Mi Familia Vota, an organization that helped increase Latino political power in 2020. The organization focuses most of its efforts in swing states, where the concentration of Latinos is strong and growing. They found that Latinos are the nation's largest share of non-white voters, about 13% of all eligible voters. The organization firsthand helped to mobilize Latino voters to flip Georgia in the recent runoff election. Myrna Perez addresses that this election was able to pull off a win for Joe Biden in spite of powerful forces that wanted to stop brown and black voters from participating. All this was done during a global pandemic, an economic crisis, and amidst politicians in all levels of the government purposely trying to confuse, mislead, and lie to voters. This was done with a great deal of change that included 35 states changing policies like absentee ballots, giving away free postage, etc. From this, we learned that it took the widespread potential disenfranchisement of people who usually are not disenfranchised to move people. We learned that intimidation and misinformation are all, which includes voter intimidation. She adds that the cracks in our system that impact communities of color in every election can impact the broader community. We are all better off when our systems have the preparedness, the resiliency, and planning to withstand whatever challenges face our country. What we need to do is force Congress to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and H.R. 1. Both of these will help to solve race discrimination in marginalized communities and their voting rights, and create a robust, participatory, and inclusive democracy.